All right, welcome back to some Orphans of the American Dream. I should have said when we come back, we'll see what happens when blah, 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 but I didn't. So now I won't say, now that we're back, see what happens when blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're just meeting some of these city dwellers here, and you guys are meeting Clarence, and Clarence is introducing himself. And so I think, unless somebody has something specific to say, I think we just kind of see like the night unfold, right? Where slowly all of our side characters, right? Like all of Connor's crew with like Emily and Alyssa and Ryan and Mr. Lang and Lynn, like all these characters kind of like come out of their shell just a little bit. And they have some like, at first everything's really tense and weird, but then I think people kind of like break out the alcohol and like they just kind of have like some camaraderie there, and there's like a big meal together. And I mean, it's not like it's not like better food than a normal apocalypse food, but I mean, it is a step up. It's decent. It's like
in an oven and not a fire.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And so, there's some you get another taste of like what civilization used to be. And it's pretty cool to see. But I just kind of want to get like a feel from like each of you guys, like, as this is happening, like, who are you talking to? Are you like talking to somebody who's a part of the crew? Are you like what is each person like doing? Or are you not talking to anybody? Like for maybe David, are you like off in the corner doing your own thing?
That's the easy answer. I feel like it's also the lazy answer. And I mean, from my impression of this group, I don't know that that's even really an option.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to kind of set the scene as like David did go off by himself, but like somebody like came over and
that's probably the case. I mean, I don't know who you think that would be, but
well, I definitely think if you go off by your own, especially if you're like doing your normal thing where like you're cleaning your gun or like making some ammo or something like that, the girl definitely comes over
and
is like
edgelord stuff.
Edgelord?
Yeah. Never heard of edgelord?
No. Well, I've heard the phrase. I don't think I understand.
It's like when a character is only ever does cool stuff. They're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
They're gritty and edgy.
Oh, yeah. Like the loner archetype.
Yeah, the loner archetype, but also dark and edgy. And
Sasuke is edgelord as it gets. If you've seen Naruto, which I
haven't.
Yeah, standoffish and in a corner. The character is super cool, but you never get to know the character because you can never talk to the character because they're just so cool that way.
They somehow never make mistakes because if they did, it would totally undercut their coolness. And yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the little girl comes over, and I think she like sees that. Did you like accept a drink?
Probably. I mean, everyone else is drinking it and they're not dead yet. So
right. So I think she comes over and she sees that you have like a drink and that you're like doing something cool with your gun, and she like comes over and she's like, "Hey, can I have some?"
Does she have a cup in her hand?
No.
Okay. Like, do you have a cup?
She said, "Oh, I can go get one."
Okay.
I think she okay, and she like runs off and like comes back with a cup. I think she goes and probably like talks to Helen or something like that, and is like, you just see her go like, please, like just water, and then she like runs back over to you, and I think Helen kind of watches and like is giving you a couple of glances.
Do I notice that she's watching?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like a station with water somewhere?
Sure, yeah.
Like where they? Okay, so I go over to that. Like I walk over there with her, and then I like turn my back to them, and then I pour some in the cup, and then make it look like I'm in here get water.
Yeah. Okay,
then,
so
like,
she kind of
that feels like a role to me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it. I'm assuming if you want to say deceive, I feel like that would be
Stealth is a thing, right? If it's probably
stealth. Yeah,
It's one of those.
Actually, worse at stealth. But so she's gonna make a notice roll, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Roll -4.
Yeah, perfect.
-1. There you go.
All right, so she doesn't notice, and I think she's trying to. I think she even gives you kind of like a nod of like thank you, for not giving her alcohol. And
I mean, I don't think I could look at her when she does that.
David, you cheeky rascal.
Then yeah, while we're walking back, I'm like, so who taught you to move so quietly?
She says, I kind of just taught myself.
Sounds right.
What'd you say?
How old are you? It sounds right.
Oh yeah. She says, I'm 10. Or no, I think I'm 11 now. Apocalypse time gets confusing.
Who's counting, right?
Yeah. They tell me that they used to celebrate birthdays and stuff like that, but
how much
it's a little bit hard to keep track of time now. What'd you say, David?
It's not much to celebrate anymore, huh?
She says, yeah, basically. Though every once in a while, people will give me a gift and say happy birthday, but I don't think it's quite every year. I think people just try to make me feel good.
I take my glass and I clink it against their cup when I say happy birthday.
Getting the feeling these people might be Jehovah's Witnesses.
And she said back to you,
friendly personality, no birthdays.
I think she says happy birthday to you as well.
Yeah, he chuckles. And is she still wearing her knife?
Wearing her knife?
Yeah.
Like in a
like she has it
in a sheath on her belt. Like
you wear a weapon. Yeah. It's not a weird thing to say.
Okay.
How dare you?
Fair enough. This is the apocalypse. You wear weapons.
Yeah, I mean you wear a gun.
No, I agree.
What else would you? Okay.
Sounded weird at first.
You're fine. You're just making me second guess it. All right. Is she wearing a knife?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I sort of point with my bottle at it. I say, do you know how to use that?
And she says, I've cut a few throats with it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the same thing, but are you a little young to be cutting throats?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
It's Phineas and Ferb.
And I think she like,
aren't you a little young to be cutting people's throats? Why, yes, I am.
She takes pride in it. Honestly, she kind of like puts her like elbow up on like a chair or like a counter or something like that as she says it. Like yeah, I get that a lot.
What of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it sounds to me like the adults aren't doing their job if the kids are out killing people.
Didn't you just give me alcohol?
I didn't say you weren't allowed. Just said that means they're not doing their job.
And she kind of says, touche, and like it's like she doesn't know how to say touche, but she like like, you know what I mean? Like she says it, but it's like not pronounced quite right.
Yeah, I probably hear tushy, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, sure. So do they let you go on missions with you, or is that sort of like you don't let them say no kind of thing?
I eventually just started sneaking along until they just gave up.
Nice. See.
She's like, I'm pretty sneaky.
Yeah,
that's how I was able to get the jump on you earlier.
You were so sneaky, I didn't even get to roll. Yeah. I think there's probably more you would say, but my Rolodex is running out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think.
Actually, well, no. Okay, there's an obvious question, right? Because we saw the flashback. Like, so, where are your parents? I mean, dumb question, I'm sure. But
Well, Helen's kind of my mom, but she's told me that she just kind of found me. I ask a lot of questions about my parents, but they don't really tell me much. I think everybody's kind of afraid. Don't know what of. Makes me sometimes think maybe they were bad people. And, well, I guess I'm kind of a bad person too, so I guess it kind of fits. And she like smiles at you.
Says, there aren't any good people left, kid. All the good people died.
And so I think she says, well, maybe my parents were good people then.
Yeah,
and she's like, she shrugs it and says, you never know. And then like takes a big swig.
So what kind of alcohol is this? Is it strong alcohol or?
I think, no, I'd assume
vodka, like what level of the getting smashed spectrum are we on here?
Probably wine, maybe even lower than wine. Maybe it's just like, I don't know what would be the most common type of alcohol you could make?
Beer.
You probably just dilute. You
get a canned beer or whatever.
Yeah, so probably just beer.
Also dilute anything. So if they're like, we only have this much beer, but we have this many people, let's just dilute it. Right. It'll taste horrible, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes bad anyway. So.
Yeah, so she probably won't get drunk too easily. It depends on how many cups you get her.
Best I should be. So okay.
Yeah.
If you've ever tried to take a swig of something hard,
I have not
yet.
Actually, that's not true. I had sake with you once, and that was pretty.
Even just small sips of hard stuff, if you're not used to it, can be quite intense.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I'm like, slow down a little bit. She's not going to believe that's water if you chug it.
and she kind of like spits up a little bit and is like, "Oh, you're right," and like coughs and she says, "Well, what'd you say, Josh?"
I said that doesn't help her case.
Yeah, I think she says like, so you're kind of cool, right?
Sure.
You want to be friends? And she like puts out her hand.
Well, if you agree not to ever put a knife to my throat again, I'll shake her hand.
Sure. If you keep giving me alcohol, I won't stab you or nothing.
I mean, I'm not sure I have enough alcohol to make that deal, but
I have mercy on you every once in a while. As long as you try to get me alcohol.
Okay. Well, sure.
Well, as long as you try not to stab me.
We'll workshop it.
So I think we cut from there. Is anybody else like having a specific conversation with anybody or doing anything special? And you can just say no, like I'm just talking with whoever if you don't want to.
I mean, I think one of the just like a passing line you get as you're like scanning through the crowd, you just see me say like to probably the doctor, the professor, basically saying like, so this feast, what exactly are we eating?
She says, well, I mean, just canned vegetables and I mean, it's just, and like, there's some canned meat in it and that kind. I mean, it's just stew, right? I mean, there's lots of little stuff in it.
What kind of meat?
I think we cut the scene there, right?
It's just me like generally frying and like they are they cannibals? Like what are they?
Yeah, I think we
have to see her face before we cut away.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that we see her face of kind of like a like I'm not sure what you're getting at as it lets me like pan over to somebody else.
I think.
Did you can this meat yourself?
Yeah, it's like that scene in Victorious where it's like, what kind of meat is this?
A special meat. We canned it ourselves.
Yeah.
I want to roll a notice to see if it tastes like human.
Okay, Jared, you can make a roll.
I don't want to know why he can make that roll.
What roll would that be, Lore?
I really don't want to know why he can make that roll.
It'd be notice, probably.
Okay, yeah, notice.
What's the difficulty to determine
1.
the type of meat? Hey!
What she said was correct. various canned meats, mostly Spam.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Caleb, I don't think they're cannibals just yet.
All right. We'll keep a lookout.
Do any of them have the shapes?
So Josh is probably talking to variously to the different craftsmen. that they
Okay, yeah.
encountered. He's curious what's going on. Like, what are they building? What are we working on? What trades do they ply? How do they, like, all sorts of questions, specific and very clever questions about the things they're building too. If they share what the detail of the project is, how did you solve this problem? Or,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. Why did you choose that material? Just building rapport. And also, I want to find out more about what's going on. Like, what are they working on? Is it, what are they building something what are they working on is the best question I can ask.
Make a roll. I don't know if this
I was going to ask what that would be.
You could say it's empathy to see if if you can gather if they're building something all together, or you could do like investigate if it's like, oh, they're making that and that. You have to put those two things together, right? Or if you put all these things together, you'd make this. Like, you could do either way.
I would prefer to roll investigate.
Okay, yeah. So you're putting the pieces together from the pieces they're giving you, right?
Yeah, I want to see. Are we looking at a colony that's just building colony things? Are they building something specific with their work? Is there a pattern?
Hashtag just colony things.
Yeah. All right. I will roll investigate. That's the one. 1 second.
I think difficulty 4. Oh, okay, wow.
Oh, that works. Sorry.
I said it just in time. No, it's all good. I always forget about setting the difficulty, so I tried to do it real fast. That's perfect. So I think you definitely notice they are making something collectively, and it's not necessarily that all of these pieces go into the same thing, but they're not just making like some of them are just making like average run-of-the-mill like house goods, right? But a lot of them are making like they're going real high tech, and I think you're able to get this out of them because you're interested in like this specific craft, and they're really excited to talk about like this thing they're working on, and so you get some details where you think that they're trying to make something real high tech that is kind of like. You guys are like researching stuff, and you guys are like trying to make like technology we didn't have before the fall, that kind of a thing. Okay. That's kind of what you gather. And so, Jared, are you having a specific conversation with anybody, or was that just you just making that roll at the meet?
Probably still hanging around Science Lady, like talking my dog up to her and being like, being too prideful to ask her to help me. But hoping that she'll get the hint that I'm slowly dying. Oh yeah. Okay. I think she. I think there's a role here. I think she totally forgot that she was supposed to give you antibiotics. I think I don't know what kind of role you think or what skill you want to use to try to get her to notice, but yeah, she totally forgot that she was supposed to give you antibiotics and was like taking blood samples and like all this stuff to try to like
rapport or provoke.
Depending on conspicuous.
What?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I was really looking for like, what's not conspicuous? Oh no, don't. Did we give my dog Floofy Boy a name, or is his name just Floofy Boy?
And, just to clarify, on your character sheet, is he an extra?
Yeah, he's an extra, but I just named a white radioactive Floofy Boy.
Okay, yeah. I think that's. Are you asking what breed is he?
Well, no. Did I ever name him? Does he have a canon name?
No, I don't think so. If you did, it was a long time ago that we both forgot.
How about you name him Granola?
Granola.
Granola. Did that
Dragon Ball Z character?
Did that video come out before the nukes?
Yes, of course it did. Jared, we watched it together as preteens.
Okay, well, that's it. His name is Granola.
Okay, I'm just missing something here. Now I understand.
Okay. So I think she asks that, like, does he have a name? And then you just say it like that, right?
Granola.
And she goes, what breed is he? like totally like, you're so strange. Like, next question.
Breed.
Is he like a Great Pyrenees or?
Well, I was assuming he's a wolf, right?
Oh, sure.
He's not like a house dog.
No.
I mean, it could be like
who knows? Maybe he was a
particularly.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Just got like an 800-pound body and a tiny head.
I'm trying to impress her with science talk. It's the scientific term for wolf.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah. She's like, oh, we have a little bit of a
Scholar.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a scholar here ourselves, do we? Huh?
So what's the difficulty for the seduction roll here? I'm just checking.
No seduction.
David waggling his eyebrows across the room.
Yeah, right.
So is there any other thing you're saying there?
What country did we find him in? Was it Poland?
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah, that country of Europe, Connor. Is
no, it was
Germany.
No, it wasn't Germany. It was I want to say it was.
I thought it was Poland.
It might have been Poland. It could have been like Scotland or something like that. I can't remember exactly. This is where Google Maps is our friend. It is
Austria.
No, I think it was
France.
I think it was England.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they have wolves in England?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, every D&D/fantasy RPG game ever says yes. It says, in fact, there's such a big problem that they have to have a whole thing called adventures just to kill them.
Yeah, it was by like Canterbury, like on the coast by where France and Belgium borders meet.
Belgium? Is that what you just...
Didn't I say Belgium?
You said Belgium.
You said Belgium.
Well, you know what? I think that's what we decided, but we can punch that if you want to. It don't matter.
It doesn't really care.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, we found him in England.
She says,
She
cool.
doesn't find that weird that came from England.
Oh no, yeah, she doesn't know what to say. She's like, okay. She's like, this is so weird. Like everything about you guys is so. She says that she's like, everything about you guys is so unique.
You don't know that half of it.
And then
Almost like we're player characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I get up. I'm like, yeah, we're pretty cool. And then I just barf blood everywhere. I'll roll provoke.
Provoke. Yeah.
What's the difficult thing?
What's the difficulty, Connor?
Spewing blood.
Oh, thank you.
Like a physique roll, do not
Probably 2.
pass out or something. Like, what's the roll here?
Oh, so
I think
the idea is Jared's being dramatic with his like stuff to get her attention, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just saying, we could have gotten here with a seduction roll too. You just take your shirt off, but all right.
Well, I don't have
Oh,
seduction.
jeez, Jared.
It's not a skill trait; it's a rapport.
Ooh,
You do it.
6.
Yeah, so I think she's like,
Dang.
okay, so there's like, what's it called? There's like, there's not real music, but I know actually there probably is some real music. There's not live music, right? But they have like a CD player or something like that. Yeah, or in just the murmur in the room. And we get this like moment where you guys are talking, everybody's talking, and then you are like start puking blood, right? And everybody just like slowly falls silent. It's like, what the heck? But the music is like still playing in the background. I think she just
Somebody once told me the world's
the
gonna roll
classics.
me.
and she just kind of goes like, Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I forgot about the antibiotics.
It's okay.
She was looking kind of dumb with her finger.
It's just a flesh wound.
Man, I think some people kind of like start cleaning up the blood, and like somebody has to dump out his food. And
I know you just see Granola just start licking up the blood. He's just like,
yeah. And,
like, no, Granola.
He's growling as he tastes it. He's like,
Granola, no.
It's back on my menu, boys.
And then Jerry, he gets this like this look on his face. He like looks at you and licks his lips, like. But okay, so she goes and gets to the antibiotics, and I think we kind of fast forward to where most everybody in the crew is like going to bed, right? Where they're like, all right, we're gonna turn in, and I think it's like down to like a small group of people, right? And I think there's like, you guys are around like a stove or something, right? So this kind of like a campfire feeling to it. And I think Helen is still there with you. I think her dad went to bed. Or no,
He's an old man.
I think the dad is up. I think to contrast the fact that he's old, he still wants to be here and talk with you guys. And
Right, so he's Dennis Roach.
yeah, there you go. And what's his name? Glenn, I said, right? And
Yes, that sounds familiar.
I
Are you talking about the paranoid guy?
No, his name was.
Wait, who's Glenn then?
No. I don't know. I don't think I wrote him down. It's fine. I think we'll go with Glenn and Brad. That's what it was. Glenn and Brad.
Brad's the paranoid one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And
just like a Brad in the apocalypse to be paranoid.
Yeah. And I think he's kind of staying up, and like maybe he's got the first watch. So he's not like sitting with you guys, but he's like standing guard at one of the doorways. But he's like kind of near you guys to like still be a part of the conversation, just to pass the time for himself, but you guys are just talking and whatnot. And I think Josh, do you kind of want to bring up that you like think they're working on something, like ask Helen about it?
From that role earlier, was I able to determine the kind of the field of technology that they're working with? Like, is this aerospace stuff? Is this computery stuff? Is this? Can I tell?
It's definitely aerospace stuff.
Okay. So I can't help but notice, you all are building something big here, don't you?
I think everybody kind of falls silent, and Helen kind of pales, and she's like, "How did you figure that out?" And I think Clarence kind of looks back and forth and is like kind of smiling.
I mean, normally you don't just build fuel oxidizer mix. There's a specific geometry of nozzle for fuel oxidizer mixing that like you don't normally use for like that. That's way more than you would need for a kitchen stove.
And she kind of is like, "Oh, you're really smart too." And I think she kind of looks around the room and is like, most everybody's asleep. And I think she looks at Clarence and is like, "Do you think we can?" And Clarence is like, "Oh yeah." And I think they're like, "Come with us. We want to show you something."
All right. Josh will follow.
Does anybody else want to follow as well, or just Josh?
I mean, is it immediately obvious what's going on?
Yeah, I guess, Josh, did you ask that question so that everybody could hear? Or like, did you specifically like
Just like a side conversation?
privately?
I mean, I feel like if we were all kind of just hanging out around a stove,
Yeah.
as the evening winding down, I figure we'd be in kind of one conversation.
Yeah, that's what I pictured
so
too.
that's kind of how I was picturing this going.
Okay.
They just
Yeah, yeah.
ask it in front of everybody to kind of bring it up.
Yeah, so they're like inviting everybody, right? They're like, we want to show you guys something.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably come in.
I
If
think
it's like a.
it's from your guys' group, right? I think it's you four and Connor and Mickey. And obviously Flu Boy. And so yeah, so they kind of invite you like and they kind of like go down like a corridor, and they like turn and go down another corridor, and you start to get the feeling that this bunker is way bigger than you expected, that they only stay in this one area, but they have tons of space here. This is like really a big facility, and this is just kind of like a little entrance to a big facility. And I think they bring you into a room, and you guys are blown away by this large facility like place, and you realize as you look immediately that they have been working and fixing up a rocket to go to space, like an actual space shuttle.
Like with like a manned space shuttle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they look at you guys and are like, well, what do you think? And like, and the music crescendos, right? Like we're panning around this, and it's just like, how did they do this? What the heck? And they're just like, well, what do you think?
That is quite the project.
Is there... I'm sorry, maybe I'm just not getting something. What's the point of why do you want to go into space?
And I think Clarence is like, well, isn't it obvious? We want to colonize the moon, of course.
And you think that you have the technology to colonize the moon when we're picking up scraps from the sidewalk?
And I think
that's yeah, good.
Yeah, no, I think Helen is like, well, that's why, isn't it? And she's like, haven't you seen this planet? I mean, we're dying. Everybody's killing each other, and
yeah, but this is still
an
exercise in desperation.
Yeah, I don't think the question is whether or not you should leave Earth. It's how in the world are you gonna survive up there when it's hard to survive down here on resources?
I whispered to Josh, should we break the news to him that there's no oxygen on the moon?
I think they know that already, Jared.
Yeah, so I think they just go on a tangent, right? Where they start describing you all these different technologies that they had been working on before the fall, before the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah.
Where they were increasingly advanced, and like those two specifically, like Clarence and Helen, they had figured out so many different things about space and colonization, and like how we could actually live on the moon. And they're like, I mean, we could do it. I mean, it might take a couple of generations, or it could take less. We don't know. But we just want humanity to survive. And that means we can't stay on this planet. Things just aren't... We just don't think... And they like look at each other like, we just don't think it'll work. We're just trying to...
Yeah, so I think I'm just like... kind of like thinking about something, and then I just say, did you guys see that movie right before the fall, Interstellar, 2014? I assume you saw it.
They both nod, and they're like, I mean, yeah, it's space. Of course we saw it. Or something to that effect.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That movie was set, what, 20, 30 years into our future currently. And they only made it. They only did it because some far future time traveling humans of the fourth dimension save them. I'm sorry. I'm just having trouble thinking that this will work. Not only are you going to the moon, which doesn't have anything in the way of like natural resources, but also this planet is nowhere near as bad as it was in that movie. None of this is lining up for me. You're way too despairing about what's happening here, and you're way too optimistic about what's happening up there.
I want you to make a roll, Caleb. Difficulty 5 rapport roll to convince them this is stupid and this is futile.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not expecting to like completely derail their entire life's work with one roll, but like, I want to at least like put a seed of doubt in their minds, right? Where maybe we're long past, and then eventually they come to grips with the fact that this isn't going to work. Like, I'm not expecting it to actually work now, but okay, yeah, sure.
I want to add a +1 to that with my rapport.
What do you say?
There's no oxygen on the moon. Literally 10 minutes after they talked about their process for extracting oxygen from the water on the polar ice caps.
Yeah.
No. More along the lines of like, there's still so many innocent people here that need to be saved, and that your technology could save.
Yeah. And I think like as the conversation continues to play a little bit, like I think I'd probably piggyback of what Jared just said and basically just say like, listen, I know that space exploration has done wonders for the human race. We have discovered so many new technologies by looking towards the stars, but now isn't the time. This isn't the place or the time for any of this. We don't have the infrastructure to do what they did. And even if you try it.
They have a spaceship.
I know, but like they don't have the support. Like, you know, like an entire nation's worth of resources went into this the first time.
Yeah, you remember the giant room of people coordinating like a Martian rover landing?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, and it's just you two. Right?
Honestly, their biggest problem with that idea was all the tech they're going to need to launch into space. They only have one spaceship, and it's not going to be able to make a return trip.
You too, German rocket, World War II. No? Okay.
Sorry. We don't get your space jokes, Josh. But yeah, I mean, I basically just say, like, you're wasting your time.
Roll.
And I think the last thing I say is, and sure, it might be a morale boost, but what good is morale when you're wasting all of your resources? Resources that could go to something much more useful, much more helpful, much more good. 5, you said?
Yeah.
I have a free invoke on that guy's paranoid. So I'm going to, I think one of the things that I say is I look towards him and I'm like, do you really think that if this got out, the fact that you have this technology here, technology that if dismantled could do all sorts of awesome things down here, you think you're going to actually be able to protect them? If anyone finds out, and then use that free invoke to basically drive the point home. Like,
right,
none of you just don't have the resources to pull this off. Like, it's a fun dream, but it's just not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
It was a dream when we had the entirety of America behind it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like a handful of people.
And I think so you say that, and I think they both look at each other, and you can tell they've gotten a lot of this.
I'm sure
already.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think they've also kind of been thinking about how ridiculous it is. And I think at first they kind of fight it, and they're like, Clarence is like, well, we know how ridiculous it is, but this is our only hope. I mean, as humans, it might be impossible, but we have to preserve humanity. Right?
Is there a blight that's slowly destroying all crops on this planet?
No.
No. Yeah. Okay. Is there widespread disease? Is there Black Plague? Are people dropping dead from disease?
Helen says, well, kind of with the
radiation
with the
sickness doesn't
sickness.
count. You get radiation sickness if you go to a radiation site. It's not spreading like wildfire across the planet.
I think she like wants to say that like, well, actually, there have been some cases where.
All right, I know, I get it. This is the point. What you're doing here, not here, but out there, that's good. That's awesome. Good for you. But what you're telling these people is if you just help us dream, that's all it is. It's all it's ever going to be. But if you help us dream, sit in this room and imagine how life could be better somewhere else instead of focusing on your own backyard, then you need to get beyond this city. You need to look beyond this city, this corpse of a city with corpses. Or did we define bodies everywhere?
Yeah, we did.
Most of the places? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. You need to look beyond this corpse city and realize that the world isn't like that. Just because one bad thing happened here doesn't mean the whole world is like that. Doesn't mean it has to be.
And I think you succeed at this, right? But the negative part of this is that they're broken about it. Like this,
right, of
this
course,
was their anchor of hope.
Yeah.
And you took that away.
No, and I see that, and this is what I know. This is what I do. So I see that like drop in their faces, and I say, "We need you. We need you for something way bigger than this.
Caleb,
you need to be looking." Yeah.
We just met these people. I get that they just entrusted us with their big secret, but like, and this is in character.
Yeah.
But like, dude, just, are you sure about this?
I think so. Listen, I say what I real quick. I think, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think Connor kind of looks at you and is like looks at you to like figure out what you're about to say. You know, he's kind of like, let me in on what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think I say to you both, right? I'm like, it's not really a private conversation, but I'm like speaking to you too. I'm saying, listen, after what happened in, what is it, Pine Bluffs? Was this? Yeah.
The last place you went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After what happened in Pine Bluffs, I didn't want to come here because I was worried about what would happen. But I'm seeing now that was wrong. That was the wrong instinct. We're doing something important. We're trying to rebuild the world. And to do that, we have to stop. I think I say it this way, actually. I think I say we're trying to build a world where we can beat our swords into plowshares. But if that's going to happen, we have to make sure that there aren't giant swords hanging above our heads. These two are swordsmiths.
And you've just gone and told them whether or not you can cut. All right, fair enough.
What am I supposed to do?
And they're confused. But
and
like,
listen, I'm just ignoring them at this point. I'm just talking to like Josh and Connor and Jared and David. I'm just like, and listen, I'm not about to pull some like sovereignty of God crap where like, look, they were right here the whole time and God perfectly led us. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's not. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But listen, we have to trust someone. And these people have been nothing but kind to us. And I just ripped their entire livelihood, everything they were working towards, out from under them. The least I can do is tell them what our dream is. And maybe they'll understand.
Really tempted to compel way to the world, but I'm not going to.
you could.
Because I like where this is going, Caleb. I don't want to derail it. But also...
Yeah.
Well, and you would want to say compel that to be like don't tell them because
I would maybe get him. The one compel I could think is get him to suddenly realize with shocking gravity what he's just done to these people.
yeah.
And then
then I would do what?
Right.
Because that's where I'm kind of going with it. Like I think this is why I'm reacting like this.
So your reaction is to try and pull them in. My reaction was going to be to have you shut down and run away. not run away. Have you shut down and like go all introspective. But I like this answer better.
Cool. Yeah, and I think it makes more sense for my character to go this way because all my other aspects are pointing to it as well.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like everybody has characters. I mean, you can compel him. If you want to.
So you just want to tell them that we're gonna go.
We're trying to dismantle nukes.
I mean, okay. That doesn't. I mean, worst case scenario, they go try and get them and we shoot them. Like I don't know. To me. And I say that a lot, but I mean, in character, try to like. I mean, telling them doesn't change anything. I'm still gonna do.
You know what? Can I do this though? Before I guess, can I make an empathy roll on them right before I like actually tell them, just to make sure I'm like not making a horrible mistake?
Yeah, no. 2 difficulty.
Okay. And I'll probably be doing this on like the dad, the professor.
Okay. Yeah, you actually. He's German. No, I'm just kidding. No, he
You've discovered my plans. Oh no.
Oh no. I was here for the nukes all along.
Hail Hydra. He presses a button on the shuttle and it explodes. It was actually a nuke.
And you find out he was actually a hologram the whole time too, like a Winter Soldier.
Right.
You realize you never touched him. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, Connor, I'm going to compel you for that to be okay.
Compel my what, Jared?
But yeah. So I mean, I'm rolling an empathy on him to basically know his most important aspect, like I do.
I think his most important aspect is I want a future for the human race.
Yeah. And I think what I'm probably going to say then, right, and so I get an invoke on that, I basically say, like, you two want a future for the human race. It says so right on your character sheets. No. You two want a future for the human race. Well, I'm here to tell you that there won't be a future unless something or someone is stopped. That's what we're doing. And maybe we can revisit this. Maybe once this is all over, maybe we can think about this again. Maybe we can build a future in which we can dream about exploring space again. But for now, I need you for something else. And then I just explain it. Can I make a rapport roll to basically get them on board?
Absolutely.
To switch around their passions and be whoa.
Let's go stop the nukes instead.
We don't actually know that anybody has any intention of setting these off ever, do we?
I have my suspicions that there's still someone out there.
And I thought we found something last season that alluded to so.
Yeah, I don't think I was
the computer.
Well, because we had all the prophet stuff, obviously, so we knew that someone did it intentionally, or at least knew it was going to happen. And so I think my guess is, as a character, is like there's someone still out there, whether or not it's one of these prophets or someone else.
So the goal here, because you guys know about the nukes, Connor came to tell you guys that we need to make sure we get the nukes and disable them before Germany realizes.
Right.
And takes control of them for their own purposes, because then they would hold the whole world hostage.
Yeah. So are there no more nukes in the entire world except for these, though?
Well, as far as you know, you don't know.
Oh.
Right. I mean, the amount of nukage, right, that happened across the world from what Connor has figured out.
I mean, is that not the word? I don't know what I feel like that's a word.
It's devastation.
No, I'm pretty sure nukage is a word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's a slang term used to refer to radioactive waste.
Are you sure it's not nukery?
Okay.
Nukage.
I like them both.
okay, I definitely did get that from
Urban Dictionary.
the wiki for the game Doom. So that might just be
Close enough.
Oh no. Here we go. Dictionary. Oh no, that's a dictionary definition of the word doom. Wait, what? That's not what I clicked on. Anyway, doesn't matter. Cool. Anyway, I'm trying to convince these people to come with us. That's what we're
really
doing.
Funny. Oh man. Oh, that's really funny. Okay. Yeah. No.
So rapport.
I will add one again as well, and I will bring up the fact that if we dismantle the nukes, I'm sure there's a lot of technical science stuff parts you can get from them.
Yeah, I think
enough to use.
I think the difficulty is probably a 6 for this one.
Yeah,
because you're not only like you're
completely
asking them
changing
to leave,
their vision,
right?
Yeah.
You're asking them to leave this place.
Yeah. Though honestly, me as a character probably, and me as a player probably thinks that these people will be better off if they aren't, trying to put their hope in this weird thing that's happening.
Yeah.
They need a little bit more realism in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll rapport, and then I'll probably end up using that invoke, but we'll see. Yep, I'll just spend that free invoke.
Okay. So I think they kind of are like, well, I mean, Helen is like, I mean, maybe you should give us just tonight to just kind of mull it over. And,
and I think I've given them details at this point, right? I've explained the parameters of the mission and what we actually need to do.
Yeah.
And so I'll be like, of course.
And I think Clarence is like, I'm on board. and Helen looks over and is like, oh, Father, are you sure? And he's like, absolutely. This sounds way more important. and Helen just kind of just nods and is like, you're right, Father. And looks to you guys and is like, we're in.
Man, I definitely have the sinking suspicion. No, just me probably as a character, but also as a player, that I feel like these two are going to die before the end of this. I feel like I'm dragging them towards certain doom.
I mean, are you not dragging all of us towards certain doom, Caleb?
Kind of, but you signed up for it, so.
Caleb, I want to compel you, actually.
Yeah, go ahead. Throw
based
on some
off
compels.
Based off of the weight of the world on my shoulders, I wanted to quote it correctly. I think you go to bed tonight because I think you guys disperse, right? I think you guys all are like, all right, and you go to bed. But I think you kind of have a sleepless night where you're just kind of like, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And I think I want to compel you that tomorrow you're not so keen on them coming after all, and you kind of want to talk them out of it. You're not going to go and be like you're not coming, but you want to try to talk them out of it to see if they'll budge.
Yeah, I think probably the way I would approach that, and we don't have to do the scene right now because I've been hogging a little bit of the spotlight here, but I would probably approach that listen, okay, I need to tell you all of the details. I need to tell you about David being a crazy maniac who just wants to kill people. I basically I'm gonna explain, over explain, go TMI. I wouldn't say it like that, but go TMI on all of our dirty misdeeds and whatnot, and we've had a lot of trouble. We've killed people we shouldn't have. Those sorts of things. Do you really know what you're getting into? But we don't have to necessarily do that right now. I don't know if anyone else wants to have a conversation or not.
Based on narratives, there's got to be a cog, or there's going to be a wrench thrown in the machine here.
What do you mean?
This is the time narratively where something goes wrong.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Well, I think you said it's nighttime, right?
Yeah.
I think David would like to talk to Jared, so I'll go find him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, are you asleep?
No. Knowing whenever something starts to go right, Jared is always me. I'm Jared. Yeah. I'm always just something's gonna happen. So I'm just like pacing around the perimeter, just making sure there's gonna be like an earthquake, or bandits are gonna attack, zombies are gonna be real or something.
As soon as they were like, there's bad guys, but we don't care. I was like, oh no, that's gonna come later.
They're gonna end up actually being cannibals. Something's gonna happen.
So you're not sleeping, so you're tired.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, is that because what he's saying?
Right.
And then an earthquake happens. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
It's a tsunami.
It doesn't do anything. So what is he doing then if he's not sleeping?
Pacing the perimeter. Keeping watch.
Nice. Actually, I feel like that is my character was also a little paranoid that inevitably their laissez-faire approach to this people who won this giant war in the city was going to come back.
Did they say specifically what happened?
Basically, they hung out on the outskirts. Actually, I don't know if you know this. Were you there when I had that conversation?
With the little girl?
No, with the guy. The guy who was like super cheery when I first met him. I guess
I think I was a science lady.
Right. Okay. So I guess you don't know, but we can talk about that.
Okay.
In character then. So I think
out of character, I think I would get a tea when you had that conversation.
Yeah. So out of character, these people were all on the outskirts of the city, and then they waited basically for them to kill each other, except for these people because somebody won. But they just kind of went to the other side of the city and set up. And so far, they haven't been bothered. And I guess
so there is a group on the other side of the city.
They're the ones that actually won the scratch.
Okay. So yeah, I'm pacing on that side, just assuming that.
Yeah. But I think that's probably something that David would think to do as well, because he found out that they're just ignoring these people. So I think I'd probably go up there to be alone and then find you there because it's more interesting. So I go up there and I'm like, they have a wall, right? Or something. You said it was a bunker.
Yeah.
So
you guys are kind of like under surface level. Like you're kind of underground.
So you'd have to like come above ground to stalk the perimeter, basically.
You could if you wanted to do that for stalking the perimeter. I think they kind of have like defenses and stuff in place, you could say. And so their keeping watch is more like inside the building at like certain entryways and stuff like that.
Okay. And by defenses, do you mean like you don't mean like automated stuff, do you?
No, just like
mines or something,
like
or
barricades and just like specific entry points that are super small, and so
like physical barriers. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I guess I walk up and I see your giant dog, probably, so I know it's you, even though it's dark. And I'm like, "Oh, Jared, I figured you'd be resting."
You know how things always go. When things start looking up, something's bound to go wrong.
Yeah, admittedly, when they said their plan was to just ignore these people, I felt the same way. That's why I came up here. You mind if I walk with you?
Sure.
Ooh. And I look at your dog like, I forgot how big you were. Yeah, maybe I'll go to like pat him on the head. I don't know how he takes that, but
he's just like he knows what you did
somehow.
Yeah, he doesn't growl.
All right.
No, that's a bad thing. Remember, he growls when he's happy.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He doesn't.
I mean, growl. I don't really even know if I know that necessarily.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, so maybe you're like everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't growl at you.
That's not something I would intuit, and I doubt I spent enough time with the dog to know that. Yeah. So, says I think we should talk before we do anything else. Before we go any further, if we get into another fight, and you and I aren't on the same page,
I mean, what's there to talk about? You tried to murder an innocent man, and you shot me.
And I stopped you.
Yeah. You show up on the it's like, well, think we probably disagree on the definition of an innocent man, but I suspect that will stay the same. I didn't want to shoot you. I wasn't aiming for you. You know that. You stood in the way.
You have to know that's not the point here.
That's the only thing that matters to me. If I am trying to... Look, I can't have
don't care that you shot me. I get shot all the time.
Yeah, he nods. He's like, look, I know you're tougher than that, but what about the next time we get into a fight? I can't wonder if you're going to jump in front of my gun next time. And
as long as you're shooting the right person.
Well, how am I going to know if it's the right person? We obviously don't have the same opinion on who the right person is. I had no idea you were going to do that then. How am I going to know in the future?
As a rule, how about this? As a rule of thumb, if they're a murderer, attempted murderer, rapist, or pedophile, you can kill them all you want.
How do you expect me to know any of those things?
That's the point. You don't shoot until you know those things.
Dude, how long have you... I've killed so many people. We've killed so many people without talking to them. We don't know if any of them have done any of those things, short of maybe attacking us or threatening our lives, which is exactly what he did.
He threatened us. He didn't attack us.
Yeah.
A defensive shooting is fine.
Listen,
attacking a middle-aged, flabby merchant man with a child, right in front of his child, does not constitute a good shooting.
Did you ever take hunter safety as a kid, Jared?
No.
That's fine. One of the rules for hunter safety is you never point a gun at something unless you're willing to kill it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was fine when there were laws and cameras and people could do something about that. The threat of violence, there was preemptive as an option, when people knew that something would happen to them if they tried to kill somebody. But the world's a different place now. Your words are as much... If someone tells you they're going to shoot you, it's the same. It's no better. They have to mean that they're going to kill you if they say it. And if they don't mean it, that's on them. You have no way of understanding that. All you can do is defend yourself. There's nothing in place to do it for you anymore, Jared. It's no different than pointing a gun. You have to mean it when you say it. I tell someone... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know exactly what you're planning on saying in response to that, Jared, but I think what I want to compel you to say is I will bear the weight of what needs to be done, right? So he's saying, if somebody threatens to kill us, we should just kill them back. I think I want to compel you to say we're good enough that we don't have to kill everybody that threatens us. Like I went some Trigun motives here, right? We're too good to feel like we have to kill everybody. Mm-hmm. Like we can just we can just be good enough and not have to kill everybody that threatens us. Mm-hmm. But I think the compel here is not that you just say that, but that's what you mean. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I don't know how mechanically that works, but character wise, that's what you're proposing to David is
yeah. So the idea is if you're compelling and maybe I want you to
make a roll or something like that, or
that this is the case, right?
Yeah. So, but I think my struggle with that is, David, do you want to have him make a roll to try to convince you, or
I think in order for a compel to have a weight, he would have to make some effort. I think he gets the point either way, but I feel like there has to be some. It shouldn't just be a free thing. I mean, unless it's an event compel and you're just saying that this is what you think. I guess that's an option, but I feel like that's more like causing something to happen usually. So
yeah, I mean, typically it would be you're compelling a character to do something based on an aspect, or you're compelling something to happen out externally because of that aspect.
So I mean, obviously, if the compel is attempt to make him believe this, then presumably Jared also believes it, or at least he thinks he does. Because that's sort of unless he's lying is sort of inherent.
Right.
But,
No. So my question is, because of that, I agree. I wasn't sure if this is just going to be a suggestion for his character or if an actual compel. But the question is, if it is a compel, are you okay with having him roll for it and having him try to convince you and do like rolling will in return or something like that? So I don't want to force it upon your character. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah. I mean, I know that that's not how he feels, but I'm fine with. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, sorry, you were so still. I thought you were frozen.
I'm a ninja.
I guess so. But yeah, I think that's fine with me. I'm fine with there being a roll, especially because I have a feeling my will is higher than his rapport. So.
Jokes on you! I'm going to turn this into a provoke.
Jared, are you accepting? Are you accepting the?
Yeah, and I'll change the word. It'll mean the same thing, but I'll narratively describe what I'm saying. Like, David, you're a whirlwind of like death and destruction, and I'm an impenetrable wall. We don't need to kill every average Joe who might get emotional in front of us because he thinks that we murdered his child. We don't need
standing
to go
right there. He was fine.
Yeah, but we did murder. But whatever. We don't need to kill. We don't need to murder every single wimpy average Joe. We're good enough to be above that. And
yeah, okay.
The pause was narrative. I'm still going.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go
ahead. Yeah, and he pauses for like a little bit of an uncomfortable amount of time. You see that I want to say something, and
I have a response to that, but did you want to make the roll now, or do you want to wait? Because I feel like my response will change if you succeed, because I won't counter you, obviously.
I need to get to the point where this becomes a provoke instead of a rapport.
Okay, well then we'll keep going. So he's like, sorry, yeah. So his response to that is just like, I mean, of course, we don't have to shoot every average Joe. Not every average Joe wants to kill us. At least they don't say as much. I'll make it obvious. But Jared, you know as well as I do that that's nonsense. A child with a gun can kill anyone. What if we're asleep? What if they shoot us in the back? A child landed on me a second ago. If I hadn't instinctively thrown her off my shoulder, she could have slit my throat. She's 10, Jared. It doesn't matter how much of a whirlwind of death we are. Everyone has a puncher's chance. Not in fate, but everyone has a puncher's chance.
David, real quick, make a notice roll.
Not empathy. Take it.
Yep, notice.
Okay, I got a 3.
Yeah.
Is this the part where we get jumping?
Give me 1 second.
Do I need to make a notice roll?
No.
Okay.
Actually, you can if you want to. Yeah.
I fall asleep.
Oh my gosh, Jared.
That was the worst I could have possibly rolled. Oh boy.
-2. Man, emotional moment, so. That's rough.
Okay, so yeah, Jared, you don't notice the same thing, but David, you notice that the little girl is here.
Okay, but yeah, to David,
she's like sneaking in the corner. Listening. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
like you've shown that you can do it. You chose not to murder that girl today. That's normally something you would do.
Well, Caleb had to get his word in first. He just did a better job this time. Which, I mean, is probably not like a real response, but that's his response.
And I get a little bit mad. I'm like, so you're saying if Caleb hadn't said anything, you would have shot her?
Well, I mean, there were a lot bigger threats in the room. We would have shot somebody else. Look, that's not the point. My point is we don't have the luxury of assuming that we're better than everyone else. Remember Lynn, when you were like, sure, I'll drop my shield, and she almost pummeled you to death?
Yeah, but again, we knew from the beginning that she was a murder hobo, as we're kin to say. But
that's not the point. The point of my statement was that if I hadn't been fast enough, a 10-year-old would have cut my throat. You understand me? It doesn't matter how competent we are. Look around. Do you have any idea how many competent people died in the blink of an eye? The best soldiers in the world, most of them are dead. People who would have killed me in their sleep. Vaporized.
all right,
You can't take things like that for granted, Jared. You know that.
Yeah, you have a point, but let's maybe make a compromise. Give Caleb a chance to give him the once over and see if they're worth it.
I mean, usually he does. Well, no, that's not true. I was just saying he usually does that before the guns come out, but that's not true. They usually come out right away. Yeah, I'm like, look, if Caleb can get somebody to admit that they were mistaken in pointing their guns at us, then whatever, that's fine. But like I said, you can't point your words at anybody any more than a gun unless you're willing to kill them. If they're willing to kill me, I have no qualms in returning the favor. I need to know that you're not going to get in the way if I try to do that.
For
I can't.
Idle threats from a man who could in no way.
That's my point, Jared. That was the point of the whole. There is no idle threat, and we were surrounded in that room. Sure, he may not have been able to do anything.
And if he had drawn his gun or reached for anything, yes, you could have killed him, but he did no such thing. He shook his fist at us. An emotional man who lost his entire livelihood.
I mean, it wouldn't have justified him pointing a gun at us. Like I said, it doesn't change. The words are the same. That's how the world works now. But look, it doesn't. My point is, we need to be on the same page here. And I don't know whether I should be mad at you for standing in the way or if I should beg for your forgiveness for shooting you. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do about this. I just need to make it right. And he goes to pull out his gun, which obviously you're fast enough to do something about if you want to.
And I am instantly up with my shield.
Yeah. So yeah, he puts his hand up and he draws the gun and he hops it so that he's holding the barrel, and then he points it at holds it out to your hand, for you to take it.
Okay, I take it.
Okay. And then he pushes his shoulder where he shot you into the barrel. He's like, look, I don't know how to make this right, so I'm going to do what I know. And eye for an eye, all that.
The little girl reveals herself. She runs down and jumps down and she's like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, he turns, holds his hand up. It's like, it's fine. I'm not going to die. I know what I'm doing.
I just drop it. I'm like, that would be stupid for both of our fighters to be injured.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, he's like, it'll be worse if we can't make this right. If we can't see eye to eye on this, if we can't work together, we'll just both end up dead, and so will everybody else.
And that's this would mean nothing. This isn't the problem. You shooting me, like you said, eye for an eye. Yeah. Someone giving you idle threats, eye for an eye, is not blasting their head off.
He's like, yeah, look, maybe it's not the problem for you, but it's a problem for me. There's only one thing I regret about what happened, and it's that I accidentally hit you. Sure, I need to know that we can work together, but that's not the real problem. My job is to keep us alive, and I almost killed you. This is the only way I know to make this right. And picks up his gun, but he obviously doesn't hold it out to you because he assumes to just drop it again.
I I just turn around and I say, we can work together to kill the evil, but if you start killing innocents, one of us is going to die. And I just walk away.
No roll.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll roll a provoke, but
I mean, I'm not sure there's any
I don't. Yeah, but
like anywhere to
if,
go
if
for
there's
it.
no,
Yeah,
if there's
what
nowhere
would be
to
the
go
point
with
of the
it.
roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Although
yeah.
I do think that might mean.
I get your fate point back. I mean, I don't get it back, but did you have to
I
spend
tried.
a
I
fate
tried
point to-
doing
We have any like there wasn't a. He didn't
Yeah, there
stick
wasn't a
to
mechanical-
roll, right? Like
Yeah.
I didn't resist it.
right. Well, I mean, if you want to have rolled there to see if you can convince me that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was
Actually,
thinking is like, you're, no?
I feel like that is a roll, right? Because you just said, basically you gave him an ultimatum, right? Like if you do
Right.
that again, then it'll go badly. So why don't you make a provoke, right? Because you literally
yeah.
threatened him. So
Yeah, and like, we can let it be he walks away, but
Mhm.
David
We'll-
made up his mind.
yeah,
And like,
we'll see how
like
it
tomorrow
affects me.
morning, he can like give a bro like answer, right? Of just like a nod, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be like, all right, you convinced me, and
So provoke, Jared. Yeah,
then David, you roll will in return, or
yeah, I think so. Ooh,
Thank
it's
goodness.
+2. Yeah.
oh, man.
Yeah,
So,
that's a
so
horrible
what
roll.
does this mean? Because this could mean two very different things.
This means that the provoke works, right? So
Mhm.
it means
But
that
there's two different ways you could take it
Mhm.
I could see constitute as working. That you think, oh, he's like he's actually going to kill me, and I should take this as like a serious threat, or like maybe he has a point about everything he says, and I should think things through more.
David, you can decide how
Yeah,
you want that
right.
to affect you, but I also, Jared, you have succeeded with style. So there's also, if David, you want to say,
I think it just
Go
means
ahead.
he gets a boost, but that doesn't do anything, obviously. It doesn't benefit. No, because it's the last
That
roll in the
doesn't
situation.
create an aspect.
No, it's just a boost if you do
this
well.
is just an overcome.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think it just means that he. I don't think he's changed his mind. I think he's just aware that it's not an option now because he can't get into that situation with Jared again. And he knows that it will happen now. And basically, he knows that things can't be fixed, right? That's what he's just found out. And that he can't. In the success of the role means he's been cowed into not doing that because he didn't get to make this right and he can't make it further wrong by starting this situation again. Maybe eventually he'll come around to the same mentality, but right now it's just I've been put on a leash, as it were, right? Like I'm limited in who I can kill now. Instead. And so I think he just kind of slumps down and like in front of his gun and probably like puts his head in his hand, like rubs his face, just like distraught.
So a little girl comes over and you like, she doesn't touch you at all. She just kind of like walks over and you just hear her footsteps and she like waits a little bit and then she says, I think you could take him. And we can just cut there if you want.
Okay. I think he sort of like has a stifled laugh and he says, I'm trying to think how he wants to say it. He's just like, that's not the point. I don't want to. It's one of the few people I don't want to take on. Some people don't deserve that. Good.
I think she says, I don't think you deserve that either. If it helps.
He just smiles and like takes a deep breath and stands up and tries to like push down or whatever and sort of puts his hand down and ruffles her hair. He's like, yeah, thanks.
She reaches. She like jumps and tries to ruffles your hair. And and she's like taken aback that you ruffled her hair. She's like, "How do you like it?"
Yeah, I think he gets a weird face too. Like,
she's like, "See."
Yeah.
I'm assuming you probably say, "Oh, okay, you want to cut there?"
Yeah, I think it's just them looking at each other funny. Like, what?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I think we get a scene for the next morning of Helen and Clarence kind of like calling a big meeting and like telling them like, we've decided we want to go with these people.
I probably would have tried to have a conversation with them before that.
Oh yeah.
Right. If that was my compel.
Right. Go ahead.
So I'd probably like, maybe they announce that they're going to have this big meeting and
sure.
I just like think, oh crap. Like, and then I like take them aside and I'm like, listen. And then like, I think I legitimately just spill all of our like grossness to them. Like, listen, David basically just murders anyone who blinks at him. Like, Jared has this weird like repentance, like righteous avenger complex. I'm totally screwed up in the head. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And basically just like explain like, listen, we're all totally messed up. You probably are just going to die if you come with us. And it's all probably really messy and confusing to them. But I don't even know what I guess I'm rolling a provoke, probably.
Yeah, I think so. And what is your goal here? Is your goal to have them not come?
My goal is for them to totally understand what they're getting into. Yeah. And
I think
if they do come, it's entirely up to them and they are going into it knowing what they're doing. Instead of having like an optimistic attitude about it, it's like grim, like, all right, we'll take up the cause sort of a thing.
Yeah, okay. I think it's difficulty 3.
Okay.
They're pretty chipper people, so.
What will the failure be here, you think?
I think the failure here is that they're going to go into it not fully expecting what they should expect, and
right.
So
they're still going to come with.
Yeah, they're still going to come. I think they'll take things harder.
Sure.
They'll be more easily hopeless.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am really bad at provoke, so this is going to be interesting.
I help you with my provoke.
You're not there, Jared.
you hear me and David fighting in the distance.
Yeah. That's actually my worst skill. It's a -2.
Holy
what?
That's physically impossible.
So here we go. Well, I got a 0. It's not actually that bad.
You could use a fate point.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will. I want them to go into this with the right expectations.
We'd have to use 2 fate points.
True, yeah. You said it's 3?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll do Relentless Leader, right? I'm using my leadership skills here to lead them into the right assumptions.
Okay.
And then I'll do the weight of the... that's fine.
I think the moral compass my friends need is probably helpful because you're informing them about your friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. 2 fate points spent.
I'm going to... No, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're good. That's fine. I like that. So you prepare them, right? And
I mean, is my conscience assuaged then?
I think so. I think they give you some slow understanding nods, and are like, we know what we're getting ourselves into. And I think Clarence specifically like puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, oh, no worries, man. We will, or Caleb, we will.
I feel like he'd be the kind of person to say, no worries, son.
Yeah, no worries, son. We know what we're getting ourselves into. And he said, and going isn't the hardest part. It's telling all of our friends.
Yeah, and I nod slowly, and I'm like, okay, well, how about it then? Good luck.
Okay, yeah. So I think they go up on this.
Well, that went way better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, there isn't a stage, so they stand up and just in the middle of the circle, I guess, and call everybody to a meeting, and they just say, we're planning on leaving. There is some missiles, and they put it like that, right? They put it like missiles that can be used by some very dangerous people. And, we love the idea of the rocket, and we love the idea of going and preserving the human race somewhere else. But we think that there's something more important right now that needs our attention. And I think everybody is like kind of confused, kind of disheartened, but I think they like encourage like keep working, and like make sure you continue helping people, and maybe and keep dreaming. But I think they kind of Helen kind of glances at you, Caleb, before she says this, and just says, and remember, there still are people here that need our help. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So as much as it is a brilliant hope to go to the stars, there are still people here. And they need our help just as much. We can't let our dreams cloud what's in front of us.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
So that's the opposite of what, yeah.
Do it.
And so I think we kind of get a wrap on that. And then I think they come over and just talk with you guys, and are like, all right, so we're gonna come and we'll do all this stuff. And I think Brad makes his way over, right, the paranoid guy, and is like, I'm gonna come with too. He said there's a missile and dangerous things and dangerous people, and looks at Helen and Clarence and is like, I like you guys, and kind of blushes a little bit, and is like, I want to make sure I keep you guys safe, and I don't totally trust you guys yet, no offense.
I would.
It's like
I don't know if I like this guy.
Don't you need people to protect the people staying behind?
And he says, yeah, that's why it would just be me.
So is this like Captain the Guard sort of situation, or just like a random guy?
Yeah, not Captain of the Guard, but he's not Rookie of the Guard. Like he's a trusted member of the group, and he's a good soldier.
I'm trying to figure out if there's some way I can.
I mean, empathy.
Well, I already made an empathy roll, and I know that he's paranoid. I feel like I could play on that paranoia and get him to stay, because he's paranoid and something bad will happen if he leaves. I just don't. We don't need this guy. Like I don't.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Is it provoke? You don't have to give me exact words. I mean, you can just say provoke, because we're trying to wrap up right now.
Yeah. Only issue is.
Oh, you don't have a good
bad at provoke.
I could try provoke.
But you don't know his aspect. No, I guess it gets revealed for the whole party, doesn't it?
Yeah, it don't matter. You could have told them in the night. It don't matter.
Yeah, Jared, you should do this. You should take it away.
Okay. I put my hand on Brad's shoulder. I give him a little.
It's a big shoulder.
Not like his big shoulder.
Yeah,
a little squeeze. Not a threatening squeeze, but just two bros.
Yeah. If you on his muscles, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Brad, we got this. I think you need to stay and protect your people. You know that there's another group over there, and without someone as skilled as you here, what's going to happen to all these people if they choose to attack?
I think that sounds more like rapport.
If rapport was an option, why couldn't Caleb do it?
I mean, he could have. I think it makes more sense for it to be a provoke.
You
But
said it.
Ugh.
You just said it. Make the roll, man.
What is my report? Caleb, help me.
I mean, could I say that I've just helped him by telling him the aspect, basically?
sure, that's fine.
Like, and give him +1? Okay, cool.
I didn't decide what the difficulty was. I'll go against his will.
What's his will?
I'm rolling for it.
Oh, okay. Please be a 1. Ah!
There you go. So yeah, so I think he takes it hard and he's like, all right, I'll stay. Yeah, I don't think we need to go into it further. I think he just says, yeah, well, I'll stay. And then obviously, little girl comes over and is like, so I'm coming with too, right? And Helen is like, Liz, I already told you can't come with. And Liz is like, well, yeah, I know you told me already, but I'm coming with, right? And Helen is just like, Liz,
This little girl is not coming with us.
Liz, like, let's not play these games again. And Liz is just like, yeah, but I'll just come with. Like, you can't stop me. I'm an adult. And Helen looks at you guys and is like, sorry, and like takes Liz aside and like talks to her, and then like comes back and is like, she won't be a problem. So you guys decide to take off then, or
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that what you told the guards when they came to find out who we were? She was there. She jumped down on my shoulders. Remember that when we met?
yeah,
Yeah, you told her that she wasn't coming. And then she was
Yes.
there. Yeah. Do you think she's going to listen to you? This is my question. She's gonna show up in a duffel bag somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're scouring the entire bus beforehand to make sure that she is not, like, she hasn't smuggled herself on.
Okay, all right, absolutely.
I see that narrative thread coming a mile away, Connor.
Absolutely, roll a notice check.
Oh boy! All right,
100%.
All right, who has a good notice? Come on, we gotta add up all our notices.
I've got 2.
Who has the best notice?
I have 2.
Oh, I have the best notice.
We can all add 1. We can all add 1.
You can add 1 as well, David.
I'm not going to.
Oh, how dare you! All right.
In fact, wait, hold on. Can I create an event?
6. Frickin' 6. What'd you get?
No, David said, "Can I create an advantage?"
Yeah.
What? No.
How would I do that?
David wants to smuggle her on.
Yeah, how hard would it be to find a spot
No,
that
this
she
is
could
such
fit?
a bad idea. They're all gonna die.
Caleb, spend your last fate
She's small, and so I would say a 2.
I'm not gonna spend my last fate point until I have to.
All right, hold on.
Got a 0.
David, tell me again. What does your stunt or your aspect mean? Some deserve a general passing.
It means that I don't feel like everybody should die a violent, bloody death. Like, for instance, the 3 people that I travel with shouldn't die a gruesome death, which is why I try and protect them.
Okay.
And why shooting Jared messed me up so much. So, I mean, I feel like that's actually what I want to invoke, because I feel like she's safer with us, even though we literally are driving towards nukes, just because I don't feel like those people are going to live very long.
Okay. Yeah.
So then I have a 2.
That gives you a +2 boost, right?
Yeah.
What was the difficulty?
2. So it creates the advantage.
It gives her a boost, basically. Yeah, so +2.
Or, yes, just a boost, right? Yeah.
So she also gets a 6, so that means she succeeds, right? Because
she succeeds partially unless I spend a fate point, which I will do.
Okay.
And Connor has 4 fate points.
And it's going to be on if there needs to be a sacrifice, it must be me, and I'm going to be the bad guy in this situation and tell her that she can't come. Right?
Okay.
I spend
gives
a
me a plus
fate point
Don't you dare, Josh.
on.
Don't you dare.
Can I spend a fate point on Jared's "I will protect the innocent from the scum of this world"?
Yeah.
I want Jared to intervene in some manner.
So compel him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Compel the boy.
I want to compel Jared
So this is basically a situation where, like,
either help
yeah.
or subconsciously do a purge. Jared, did you give Caleb a help with this notice roll? by
I
any
gave
chance?
him a +1.
Yeah.
Can I compel that +1 away? Or no, wait, because that still doesn't quite get her over
I think what you would be doing is,
the number.
it looks like I would succeed because I got an 8 over her 6.
Whoa.
But this would be you compelling him to basically, once I did find her, Jared would be like, but listen.
Yeah, so that's the thing is we have to.
if she's gonna, yeah, okay, so yeah, I'll compel
whether or
him.
not she's found is the thing.
I'll compel him then to.
Yeah, but I think Josh's main point here is that he wants Jared to like intervene and say like,
Right. But
I want to help her be smuggled on. But I think at this point, I don't know if he can do that.
Yeah, because this
Or-
point hasn't been found because
Yeah.
Connor could spend points
That's
if he
fine.
wants to. So we have to real
Oh.
quick. So it's a 6 to 8.
That's fair. I guess Connor has more points if
Yeah.
he wants to
I mean,
spend.
it's
So
fair.
you might even need
I
to
was
do it.
just
And
looking
every 4
to add
minutes in
more
the
to her side of
Yeah.
it. I'm not
Oh,
sure if there's
I
any
see.
way
And I
to do that.
don't know if you can invoke Jared's in that way then.
Because I wanted to poke Jared to intervene on her behalf in some manner. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's something you would do if I did
no,
find
Yeah,
it.
so,
if she
okay,
gets
so that
found,
hat.
that'd be perfect. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you
How
can't
that
like
would
give a +2 from somebody else's. It's like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you can't interact with the roll.
Wait, I
that
mean,
way.
Connor, are you going to spend stuff on hers?
Oh yeah. Her.
I mean, he has
her
4
high-
fate points in 3 minutes. So
Yeah. Her high concept. She's invoking your high concept, which is I'm a freaking assassin.
as I say, I imagine all of her aspects are like, no one can see me.
Oh boy, this is the worst.
It's great.
So she gets on, and she sneaks on the bus, and like when you
So this
guys
is the
are.
thing. I scour this thing. I pull it apart one bolt at a time, and I look. How does this happen?
Literally, what happens is I just wait until you've searched an area, and then I like make a little thing, such that she can get in, and then you've already looked there. So,
Yeah. That's perfect. So I think you guys like get a certain like way from the city, and then Caleb, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
What the?
And,
I told you. Ugh.
and Liz is sitting there with one hand behind her head, her feet up on the back of your seat, and she's playing with your revolver.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if there's anything that happens. It's just we see that scene, right?
Yeah. Okay. So then the last little thing we get here is there's something that what's their names? Clarence and Helen tell you, and they say there's something that we could do that might be super helpful to the cause. It's something that might be a lot faster than how we're traveling now. And
A rocket ship.
no, they don't say a rocket ship. They say that they know.
We could just jury rig this thing to fly there.
They say that they. I'll do it in character. Helen comes up to you, or we see Helen and Clarence kind of talking on the bus, right? And they're like kind of going back and forth and talking through some things, and then they kind of nod, and Helen comes over to you, Caleb, and like taps you on the shoulder, and is like, I don't know if you're exactly in charge or what the deal is here, but I think I have a possible helpful tidbit.
I'll make sure everyone knows if they need to know. What is it?
Well, we get lots of people that, you know, we invite in and talk with, and, you know, we have a good, we hear lots of stories, right? We know lots about the outside world, not because we've been exploring as much, but because we
invite in a lot of travelers, and sometimes it doesn't go so well, and most of the time it goes really well. And well, there was something that we heard that seemed ridiculous at first, but when they explained how it all worked, it made perfect sense to me.
Okay.
It's just kind of like, yeah, okay. Well, apparently there's a train, and it's going.
Train. So a train that's running.
Yes, and apparently some people are taking food and other various things to, give people rides, and I think it goes straight to where you guys are going.
Real quick, I think, as she says that, I just like sit there for a second and I say, 2 days ago, that would have surprised me, but you guys were building a spaceship. So sure, let's go check out the train.
Okay. So if somebody else has a little tidbit there, we can cut there.
There was a chocolate factory, now a spaceship, and now there's a train. I guess this is just how it is.
I mean, the train is the most normal so far.
I know, exactly.
It's a spaceship.
But if that was the first thing that we had done, I would have been like, oh wow, whoa, a train is operating, someone's operating a train. At this point, I'm just like, sure, yep, okay, that makes sense.
It's like in Mistborn, how everybody was in Mistborn.
Of course, it's in something.
Yeah. No. So we'll cut there. We'll go off and we'll do our little post-apocalypse show, and then we'll be back next week for another episode of Orphans of the American Dream. So thanks for playing, everybody, and we will see you next week.
What's everybody's beliefs, instincts, traits, or whatever?
Yeah.
See ya.